Hey guys, so I think I'm going to entitle this, When Are You Butting In and When Are You Just Being a Parent? It really gets hard. It's so hard to be a parent to a teenager. It's so hard to kind of decide when you need to intervene and when you just need to let your children either make the mistake they're about to make or to fail. Because as a parent, we want our kids to always succeed. And we have seen our kids fail miserably. So we want them to, have an opportunity to have a successful something in their life, right? And so yeah, I've often thought about this, over the years. My kids have been in different situations, and I've looked back on them, and sometimes I think I was probably what the stereotypical helicopter parent would act like. I have been known to be a Karen, as they say. I have been known to also just be a little bit passive. And so I've kind of been a little bit of all three. I feel like as I get older, I do have more patience. Of course, I have more experience. And so I want to pass on some of my wisdom, if you will, to you guys, as far as when you should butt in. Now, when you have a neurotypical child, the answer is never and always. I know you're like, what? In other words, you're always going to be butting in their eyes. It doesn't matter what you do. You're always going to be in their business. You're always going to want to know what they're doing. You're always going to be there and advise them and provide feedback even if they don't want it. That's being a parent. Well, what I'm saying is never is when I refer to that, I just mean that you should never try to butt in. If that makes sense. In other words, if you know your child is talking to their girlfriend or boyfriend on the phone, you should not listen in on their conversation, for example. Give them a little bit of privacy. If you know or overhear someone talk about your child, okay, you're not going to want to go to your child and say, hey, he just said something about you. Why don't you go do something about it? Hey, don't worry, I'll be there for you. That's what I mean. That's the kind of butting in that you don't need to do. You don't need to interfere with their life experience. You've already experienced life. You've already made the mistakes. You've already been through, the things. Now it's the time for your child to go through the things. And you have the ability to help them, okay? Obviously, you have the ability to nudge them and to give them some counsel without them even realizing it. But you don't want it to be blatant about it, okay? So this is what this video is about. Make sure your kids are not around. How do you butt in without them knowing that you're butting in? That's the question. So there are ways. We recently installed Bark, which is an app, and it lets us know exactly what emails and things like that are coming through. And it's a great app, by the way. There are other apps out there that do the same thing. They alert the parent about certain things. As far as I'm concerned, if your child lives in home, you are the parent. You have every right to, once in a while, go in their room and just look around. Yeah. I think it's important that there's a facade, but especially if your child has given you a reason not to trust them, I think it's not a bad idea to once in a while put away their underwear in their underwear drawer, if you get my drift. Or look for something in their room when they're not there, such as maybe their closets. Look in their shoes. Oh, I was just wondering what size they were. There are many ways that you can kind of monitor your kids, and it's so important. I mean, I wish I could tell you that, all kids are 100% trustworthy. They're just not. They're kids. They're going to sneak around. They're going to in the old days, you'd find Playboy magazines underneath mattresses in boys' rooms. You would find maybe some cigarettes, in a kid's room. Nowadays, you're gonna find things that it'll make you blush. And it's not quite the same world we live in. It would not be a bad idea to kind of look at the history in their computer. And the kids are very smart. They're gonna erase it and clear their history. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind. But I guess butting in, can also be called being nosy. I think it's important that parents remember their role and what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to protect our children, whatever it takes, right? As always, good luck on your journey, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.